The job market is absolutely cooked. And to show it to you, we got some absolutely crazy people and we got some crazy companies, and it is all in between, right? We got companies that are laying people off, that are firing people. And then what we also got is job seekers that don't even want to take help and are crying and saying, I can't find a job. This is the craziest time ever. And then when you offer them free help, they don't even take it. So what is going on? In this NBC post, from the Great Resignation to the Great Detachment, how the US job market has slowed. And so it went on and says that this person, 42, I can't even pronounce the name, Hevia, I think it is, lives in New York City and has been out of work since the summer. In a recent LinkedIn post, she claimed she has filled out more than 1,000 job applications and nothing to show for. Well, now I'm asking you, how did you fill those out? Because if you fill out 1,000 applications, then I don't know, you should probably get better and better at it and kind of see what these people are looking for, because just doing 1,000 times the wrong thing will not get you a better outcome. That's a definition of insanity. You keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome. It's not going to happen, right? So you got to tweak it, you got to change it, and I have no idea how that person did anything. But I'm seeing stuff like this right now, and it is absolutely crazy. So I'm seeing this person on LinkedIn saying, this has been the longest time I've been employed. And I actually did not bleep out the name because I was just like, okay, this just has to be said, right? So I did bleep out the name, right? So I did bleep out the name, and now I get to see what these people are doing. So this has been the longest I've been unemployed. So then I'm like, oh, he's in my network. So let's see if I sent them a free invite to the job search community where he talks to other people to get to see, hey, there's a bunch of other people that are unemployed. Let's share some ideas. Let's share what's working for you, what's not. So I sent him a request. You can see it on here on December 1st, and it is free. I can't make it easier than that. It is free. And has he signed up? Nah. Has he connected? Yeah. Does he actually know us? Yeah. So there's always these people that then go cry later on and say, it's just not working out. You're not even utilizing all these resources. So how are you, if you're not utilizing all these resources, how are you job searching? If I offer you something that has pure value, that helped so many other people, I got the reviews, I got everything to prove for it, that we helped so many people land jobs, but then it's like, nah, this is just absolutely crazy. This is absolutely insanity. And so this is more of a crazy rant video because I've seen it so long, so many times that all these people say, oh, I can't, it's not me, it's the job market. They don't like me because I'm bald. They don't like me because of this, or they don't like me because of that. That has nothing to do with it. I've never heard anybody say that, hey, they singled me out or they didn't want you. No, it's you come over entitled. You're not a team player. You couldn't articulate your value. You didn't articulate what you're going to add to the organization. You didn't do the things that you're supposed to do in an interview, because let's face it, we interview every 2 to 3 years maybe, and in between those times we really don't job search. We really don't sell ourselves that much unless we're salespeople, right? So when you're in an interview, one thing that you got to do is sell. You got to sell yourself, and you got to show your best case forward. I've seen people that came dressed for a normal interview, dressed to the nines, like suit, everything. And I was like, oh, you really dressed up? And I see people half naked showing up for interviews, and I was like, what are you doing? This is like not appropriate to show up for an interview. Oh, it's not? No, I don't want to see your dad half naked running around in the background when it's a virtual interview. I've seen it all. And so then I'm like, oh gosh, right? And so this is just a reminder for you to actually, hey, maybe I should look at it a little bit more aware of myself and see, hey, maybe I should change this, maybe I should change that a little bit and see what's working. Change things slowly, a little bit over time, and not even like, let's just change everything from one to another, because it's a tough market. It's a tough market. People don't know how tough the market is if you're not job searching right now. The funny thing is it's just like these CEOs that I always talk about. I always talk about these CEOs were such geniuses when it came to low interest rate environments. And so were all these job seekers. Oh, I got a job here, I got a job there, they gave me such a raise, and I job hop. When the job market's easy and everybody gets hired, you don't need to be a rock star at interviewing. You don't need to be a rock star at selling. You can just do it, and you can just get away with more things, with spelled the recruiter's name wrong. It's attention to detail. It's spelled, and I see it all the time. I coach people, and I see people spell my name wrong. And then I'm like, oh, and you're trying to get hired? That means a lack of detail. So it's absolutely crazy. And LinkedIn now has a feature where you can request services, right? And I've been in this space long enough, so I have it turned on, and I got it right there. And I did some trials, and people request services from us all the time. And sometimes these people, and this is what I'm going to ask you. So I have a service request right there that I just showed, and for the fun of it, I said, these people don't even follow directions. And I said, you know what? If you respond to this in 24 hours, I'll give you a free resume review with a one-on-one. I'll help you at no cost. Do you think that that person would respond? I said, it's free. Just respond to this. Nope, didn't happen, didn't look at it. So now it is not a priority for them. And I've seen people like this in the stuff that we've done with coaching, with helping people get their resumes done, getting all this other stuff done. And I've seen it that these people have been job searching for 8-9 months. They've been traveling all over. They've been living with their parents, so they're not that eager to find a job. They're like, oh, I'm just living my life. I do a little gig work. I drive for Uber a little bit. I do a little side work. And you're like, oh, I just have an 8-month unemployment. Been unemployed now for 8 months. That is huge. That is huge. You lost out on tens of thousands of dollars that, when you think about it, compounded interest over time is going to be costing you a huge amount. That can be a new car or something else that you could have worked your way into. And now I'm not saying this is for everybody, because there's some people that don't need these services and that are just naturally good. They can get them themselves. But what we focus on is people that haven't done it in a long time, or people that come out of college, or people that are so smart. There's these people that we help get jobs that are so smart that actually can't articulate themselves very well in interviews because they're so technical. And for me, that was never really an issue. I like talking. I can kind of sense if my person, what I'm saying, is gonna result into body language, right? So if you say special words, you say different sentences, and you will see how your interviewer or your interviewee will take that. And body language is a form of communication, so you can kind of see how they take it, and then you can change your tone. There's some people that are just cold-hearted and you could never tell, and some people have warmer personalities where you can tell, right? So we've been helping people like that all the time. And it is so funny when I see all these posts on LinkedIn. It's been so hard. It's been so hard. And it's like, it's these people that need the help the most that don't want to take it. And I've seen people that are like, hey, I haven't done this in a long time and I want to get a job. And we helped somebody like that, like I think it was like 3-4 months ago, and they landed a job at Boston Scientific. And the funny part is this super technical person had no like skills. We had to do like, hey, can you do a little small talk before you get into the interview? Can you do a little bit of smiling? All that kind of stuff. Because it just was hard to articulate. It was hard to when you're so technical and you're so, right brain, left brain, right? You have these, everybody has these, right? And that is what I think is the great equalizer, right? Because if everybody was really good at the same thing, we wouldn't have a world that is shaped so beautifully, right? With trees, somebody's really good at gardening, somebody's really good at pouring concrete, somebody's really good at mechanics, somebody's really good at gardening, all these other things. And so it is absolutely crucial that you know what your weaknesses are. And not everybody knows that. And so when you don't know, you gotta do these tests. There's these accountability, like these personality tests, and you can take them online. They're free. Do it and see where your shortcomings are. And from those shortcomings, try to at least just like trim down, or just like, or not articulate it, or see, oh, there's an issue that I have. Let me ask GPT to kind of do it. And that's for the where people, right? And I always say, you can do anything yourself. People say, oh, there's no need for a service like that. Well, there's no need for a car repair service either. You can do that by yourself too, right? You can repair your car. You don't need to cook because you can do everything inside. You don't need a grocery store because you can do everything you want. You can do for yourself, right? You can plant your own food. You can get your own rabbits and grow rabbits and do all these kind of things, and then butcher them and live out in the woods. You can do all that. But for some stuff, it's just not worth paying for, right? For some stuff, it's truly, truly worth paying for. And when I'm looking at these LinkedIn posts, I just like, oh my gosh, this is just a disaster. And then people come to me, and I hang out with friends, and they tell me like, oh, I've been unemployed for so long. And I just smile. I would never say, hey, why don't I help you out? Never. Because I tell you one thing, I read this article the other day that said, customers of yours will become friends before your friends become customers. And so I never ever offer services to my friends. I just don't do it. And I never talk about it. I never talk about really all these kind of things because it's just not worth it just with you guys, right? And if people in my surrounding, they watch my videos and then they're like, oh, I like that, or that was crazy. And so, yeah, it is absolutely, absolutely nuts. And this is why, as a business owner, I get to see a little bit behind all types of different realities, right? Of the job seeker, of how it is as an employer. Because I get to help people get hired, and I see when I hire people how it goes. And I'm telling you, the stuff I see is just crazy. And I am 100% confident that during times where everybody's hiring, it's just easier. It's easier. They say, you know what? This is as good as it's gonna get. We'll do it. But now it's 6, 7 rounds of interviews. The response rate 5%, maybe 3, 4. If you're just kind of winging it. And so, yeah, you got to send out a lot of job applications, but it's your job now. You're unemployed. You're getting unemployment. So use that time to send out resumes, to network, to go to events, go to job fairs, go to all of these new places. And it is absolutely, absolutely crazy what I see in the market. But that's just one thing for these job seekers. On the other hand, Allie didn't want to drive the Polestar no more. So this is her car. And I'll make a video how this transaction went. But yeah, a lot better than most other dealerships that I contacted. I think I contacted like 6, 7 dealerships. So I have a video of that coming on how I got this one, because I gotta get a good deal before I'd ever allow Allie to buy one. But she's like, I'm done, it's too tight, I drive a lot, and I don't wanna be so cramped up in my Polestar. Plus, what I also didn't know is when I bought the Polestar is that the Polestar there's not a shop in my area. So in Las Vegas, there is no Polestar dealership. So I needed to go in for service and had something else going on. And so there's no Polestar dealership. So I called the Volvo dealership down the road, and they said they're not Polestar certified. They need to wait, I think, 2 years or something till they can actually service the Polestar. So before that, I had to take it to Arizona to get it serviced because it had an issue with it. And I said, you know what? I'm done. It's not worth my time to go down to Arizona to get it serviced. It's not worth driving down there. There's no chargers between Las Vegas and Phoenix to get it serviced. I'm like, nope. You know what? Just get rid of it and get what you want. And then she's like, that's what I want. Electric, all-wheel drive SUV. Had huge incentives on it. So I'll make a video about how that came about. But yeah, it is absolutely crazy. And hey, I get to see how other people do sales. That is always one of the most interesting things to me, is how other people deal with customers, deal with rejection. and see how they overcome rejections and how they turn no's into yeses and vice versa, right? Because if you're a business owner, just like I am, there's always this notion of, hey, everybody can be a future customers of yours. And Michael Jordan said it right. Even Republicans wear sneakers, or did he say Democrats? It doesn't matter, right? But he said, I don't take political sides because everybody could wear my sneakers. And so, yeah, this was it for this video. This was a little more of a rant video of all this craziness I see on LinkedIn. So I challenge you to actually look at yourself and see, hey, if you're job searching, see what you're doing wrong. And you don't need to sign up for my community. It doesn't matter. Um, what I just encourage you to do is look at how you're doing it. And if you got no response, try to change it. And if you want, connect with me on LinkedIn. But what I do want you to do is hit the like button and subscribe, because that's going to help me out a lot. And I do ask for that. And that is it. And it's a beautiful day, but it is hella cold. My hand is freezing in Vegas. And I got the jacket on. I should have worn a better one. And it is just absolutely crazy. So getting back to the house, upload this video, and I'll see you in the next one.